On the central coast of Australia sits the beautiful beach of Terrigal, very close to Erina, the Erina Ice Arena, the site of this year's Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2017. Curlers from around the Pacific Asia region have come here to compete for the rights to qualify for the men's and women's World Curling Championships. I'm Hans Fraunlab. I'm joined by Sander Rolvag of Norway. Good evening to you, Sander.
Good evening, Hans.
And we've got the Trans-Tasman battle tonight in our men's competition. The hosts, Australia, are taking on New Zealand. Let's have a look at the standings. The Australians are atop of the table with 2 wins and no losses, along with Japan and Korea. China is 1-0. Chinese Taipei is 1-1. 9 member associations competing in the men's event. Qatar is on 0-1. Hong Kong 0-2, as are Kazakhstan, and New Zealand is looking for their first win tonight. So let's meet the teams, and here is the host, Australia. Skip is Hugh Milliken. Jay Merchant is playing at second stone. Ian Palangio is at third. Dean Hewitt is throwing fourth stones. The alternate is Christopher Ordog. And their coach is Archie Merchant.
For Team New Zealand, we have Anton Hood at lead, Brett Sargan at second. Throwing the third stones is Warren Dobson, and the team is skipped by Sean Becker. Alternate, Hamish Walker, and coach is Peter Becker.
So 2 countries that have faced each other often on the ice and are very familiar with each other's games. And there's always something a little bit special in an Australia-New Zealand game in any sport. And I'm sure the players tonight are no different. They know each other well, and I'm expecting a lot of good spirit and a lot of rocks in play, Sander. Speaking of the rocks in play, the Australians will be playing the Redstones tonight.
Well, I think you probably know these teams better than anyone, Hans, at least better than me. But yeah, I've seen these teams play a couple times before in the past at the Pacifics. I think, if anything, you should expect some good banter on the ice today.
I'm sure it will be lively, and you at home get to listen in. And let's getting us underway is Anton Hood, only 17 years of age, one of the curlers of the future in New Zealand.
Whoa. It's going to way over curl, guys. It's going to way over curl.
Sorry, Sean. Uphill this way.
Okay, Anton, let's try.
What'd you get?
A little soft.
Center guard, so the Australians are immediately going to go around. Here is Australian skip Hugh Milliken, who is playing at the lead position but calling the game.
Where is it?
A true icon of the sport.
12-5. Good, guys. 12-8.
Yeah, I would say there's slight difference in experience at lead position today.
Yeah, Hugh was competing for Australia internationally before Anton was a glimmer in somebody's eye.
Great weight.
And a nice shot there from Hugh.
Yeah, Hugh's has played almost 200 games at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships, starting out in 1991. So,
yeah, there was a long string of Australian dominance in the early 1990s, and that's spread around the region now. New Zealand had some success in the early 2000s, and Japan, Korea, China have all had success. So a lot of experience on the ice, and Hugh more than anybody. Here's Anton Hood trying to draw around that stone, and he comes into the top of the button area. Nice shot there from Anton.
Yeah, a couple more feet away. Yeah.
Here's Dean Hewitt holding the brush for Hugh Milliken.
A little tight.
A little heavier, tight, slightly tight.
Little tight.
Slightly tight. I don't.
Just for line. Just for line, Hugh.
Okay.
We're to it.
Just to it. 7.
To it. Gotta go, Ian. Gotta go.
Gotta go.
Yes.
To it. Line's good. Line's good.
Cut, guys. Cut.
Pretty good sweep there. Gets onto the yellow.
Very nice shot there. Good team shot. Palangio and Merchant pretty much coast to coast on the brushing, and if you're new to our sport, you can carry the distance further with the brushing. You can't slow it down, but you might get about 3 meters of distance for a good pair of sweepers, Sander.
Yeah, I think so. Diameter of the house being 3.66 meters, I believe. Just as a reference there.
Here's Brett Sargan, 25 years old. Trying to clear that center guard, or at least run it back. That guard was causing trouble for New Zealand, so they had to make a play. Australia does have last rock here in the first end.
Sooner or later, we're going to double bump. Yeah, don't have to yet, though. It's only...
It's early. It wasn't real positive either.
What are we thinking here?
80?
80?
85.
Okay. Good rotation there, fellas.
Yeah. Thanks.
You hear the numbers in the background, Sander.
Everybody's going to get lucky at some point.
80, 85, what would they be speaking about there?
Yeah, it's some split times. So they'll have a stopwatch, and they'll have a split times between, I think, backline and hogline for this team. 385. Means the ice is pretty quick and nice. Yeah. Some teams use different splits. Sometimes you could use from hog to hog, timing your opponent to keep a track of the ice and so on.
Oh, very nice down there from Jay Merchant. Right on the button. Here are the rules of play. 6 ends minimum, 10 ends are scheduled. There will be an extra end if there's a tie after 10 ends of play. 38 minutes of thinking time for each team, and each team can call one 60-second timeout.
One thing I realize which is very nice in our sport, is if the thing doesn't pan out, you can just shake hands before the game's over. You don't have to play all 10 ends. It's not necessarily the same in other sports.
That's true.
You might just have to endure.
Nice shot there from Brett Sargan. Removes a couple of the Australian stones. Yellowstone belongs to New Zealand in the back of the button. That shot rock. Here is Jay Merchant. See if he can duplicate that feat from his last shot.
It's happening. 7, 8. 8. Sit down. Sit down.
Sweeper's backing off. They think it's got lots of weight. They're willing it to curl.
Sit down.
Bend!
Okay. That's all right.
Comes to rest.
Just that fraction more, eh?
And there you go. Jay tells the story for us.
Really
Just
good.
that fraction.
Yep.
That fraction more weight.
Well, wait. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Blood just bump.
Not a bad spot.
Troll.
Throw.
I'm in close hands. This is not bad either.
New Zealand third. Warren Dobson. Two Olympians on the ice tonight for Team New Zealand. Sean Becker carried the flag for New Zealand in the 2006 Torino Olympics, and Warren Dobson was also a member of that team. Nice shot there from Warren.
Here's hit and roll. Yep. If you hit it right on the nose, just here. Yeah. Or right in the nose. Or just go normal.
I think so.
Normal weight.
Angles aren't great for Australia here.
Curls a bit. 6 are red.
They can make contact with the shot rock, but there is a risk of a jam. Here's Ian Palangio.
Whoa, whoa. Close. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. 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 Whoa, 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 whoa.
There is the jam.
Good shot. Well done.
Great shot. Dandy.
Teammates are pretty happy with it, though.
Pistol. Shot.
I think his teammates are happy because the roll has created a lot of separation, and Australia does have last rock, so that does open up the chance of a 2 or a 3.
Just over half.
Trying to figure out.
Risky, but I think we play it.
Trying to figure out if the double's on here.
What's the weight?
Control
Take it,
ball.
bumper.
Bumper.
So just control weight, hit this red stone top of the 4, try and roll it over.
Bumper up. Little bit. Little bit.
Yes, yes.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Roll. Can you roll?
It's close.
Sit.
Just needed a fraction more contact to make the double.
Just rolled over a bit. Boy, that's cut hard at the end.
Same way.
So now a pretty good chance for the Australians to capitalize and maybe get their pair here on end number 1. Here's Palangio.
Yep. Yes. Yes. All right. Hard. Whoa. Yep.
Great shot.
Little inside roll, maybe not perfectly behind cover, but it's probably hiding a corner at least, and Australia does lie,
Thing is, we're going,
we believe,
you know,
to.
we're going out here.
Yeah. But we want to just play like a hack or bumper and grind. Sit there. We're trying to sit the open.
Oh, well, we played the same. I mean, we played the same shot as you
Well,
played.
it's coming to
You
it.
played a bumper. We saw the
Coming
ice.
to it.
So
Coming to it.
mine should run like yours. Just play bumper there. Just inside edge of the butt.
See how much you can see down the other end.
So Sean Becker, going to school on Warren Dobson's shot, says, I can just throw down the same path as you threw and the same weight.
Freeze to it, but early ends have got the hammer. Let's play the same shot Dobby played. Yep.
Problem for Becker on this shot, though, the angles aren't quite as good for the roll. Be very difficult for him to make a double here, but he can at least remove the shot rock and close up the house towards the other Australian stone.
Yeah, and perhaps get a double on his next one.
Go then.
Yep. Yes.
Whoa.
Oh, this one is really curling.
Yep. Hard.
Massively over curls. He's on his own.
Sorry, Dobby.
And he pushes his own stone back into
Sorry,
the
guys.
8 foot. So
Down, yeah. So the other shot on Ian's, I was giving that with normal. Okay. Yeah.
So great chance here for the Australians in the first.
Just a bit stiff down there still, is it? I should have thrown up like you did. Positive, throw it up. Sorry, Dobby.
Yeah. Okay. You stay there, it's fine.
So with all of those stones at the tee line or behind, where would,
Wherever we go, we're going to leave a double somewhere.
read my mind, Dean, I said, where can you leave it?
Okay. Got it.
And Dean Hewitt telling us that
Yeah, normal. Same as Ian's.
going to leave them a double somewhere. First job is to remove the New Zealand rock.
Probably the best thing to do is make the long roll to the left, but I'm not sure if they're going to risk it too much. I think they might as well, because like a nose hit would leave a pretty easy double, so even rolling out here, I think your 2 is fairly safe.
Yep, whoa means they are close to whatever they like. Finds a little corner there, changes the angle, so Australia lies 3.
Yeah.
You know,
It's not too bad.
Chance here now for Becker, though, to remove at least 2 of them and limit the damage.
we do or we don't.
I think at this point the Kiwis would be pretty happy just to drop a deuce.
Normal here. The way they're moving at the moment. Brett's moved here at Peel quite big, so. Yeah. Well, anything outside half gets the double. So.
Close. Yep.
Hard! Clean!
Hard.
Clean!
Whoa,
close.
Clean.
There's 1, and there's 2.
Sit.
And a roll. Nice shot there from Becker. And New Zealand lies 1.
Okay with that?
Yeah,
about as much as he could do with that shot, Sander.
Yep, pretty good.
Go normal again.
Thanks, you.
Seemed to be very much in control all the way down.
Should run pretty straight.
You see 2 Australian stones, one of them right into your living room.
Same way.
Does force Dean Hewitt to play the end turn here.
On a new patch of ice as well, so this is no gimme, but this is the last stone at the first end.
Han! Han!
Oh, they're on it right away.
Hurry, guys, come on!
We saw Becker's overcurl on this patch. Is this one going to overcurl as well?
Sorry.
Yes, it has. Removes the Kiwi rock, but rolls out himself, and it's a score of 1 for Australia. So a let-off for the Kiwis. Australia breaks on top here in this Trans-Tasman curling battle. After 1 end of play, it is Australia 1, New Zealand no score.
About 2 inches too far. It's okay. It's a good end.
Get that one going a bit, or it just curl there?
I don't know. It seemed to curl.
Weight was
Yeah.
good. It was nice, normal.
Yeah.
It was great. We got it.
Okay. We just thought it would run straighter in that spot.
Yeah.
But
You going top 4?
Yep.
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, time to lose the jacket.
Yeah, the jacket's been off.
Oh, he's
Hot. Huh? It's plus 35 outside.
Top 4, guys.
You gotta go.
Where is it? Han's in.
Play underway now in the second end.
3-4.
We're going to overcurl as well.
Since Australia scored the point, last rock advantages now in the hands of New Zealand. First rock here from Hugh Milliken, center guard, tight to the rings.
Trying to put on a handle on that, but still didn't.
Oh, that's all right. Well, it wasn't bad.
Let's come around that.
It ended up better.
Don't mind if you're here. That's okay.
Right.
Pretty positive, 25.
Anton Hood.
Leave it light.
Wait, guys. Line's good.
Leave it light. Light,
Oh,
real
looks
light.
hot.
Yeah, sweepers think that one's a bit positive. And that one is fair steaming through the house.
What'd you get on that one?
Okay.
Back on.
Good try, Anton.
Here we go. Yeah, not much, man, eh?
Yeah.
Pretty slick.
There's no worse feeling.
Yeah, it's tough. Tough to throw one through the rings. And
Line's good.
We've all
Anton-
done it many times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on, guys.
Some of us more than others. Speaking of myself, of
Line's
course.
good. Whoa.
Line's good.
Looks heavy. Looks heavy, guys.
Yeah,
And that's where the
bury it.
veteran teammates on Team New Zealand will help Anton through that. As you say, we've all done it.
Okay.
That one slides behind the tee line as well.
More.
It did.
There's a bit more, but I thought it was going to be T-line.
There's a chance the ice keens up a little bit after an end or two. Break down the pebble, heat up the surface with just the sweeping and
Yeah.
with the people walking up and down, the players rather.
And quite often it's that center patch of the ice that is the last to come up to speed.
Yep.
There's a lot of throwing in the wings in the pregame warm-up, but not so much up the middle.
Hey, line's good.
Yeah, you could hear Sean Becker talking about
Go now.
the ice being a little stiff down the center line.
Go here. Go here.
It's pretty normal. You play that draw pass to the forefoot, and then if you start playing, bumper weight shots along the center line, it could be a little rough, a little
Good shot.
full pebble there.
Just sliding a wee bit in
Tends
that
to take
spot.
some of the weight off of shots. And it's just things to look out for.
Throw, Anton.
What are we thinking here? 80?
It was a nice comeback shot there from young Anton Hood. Corner freezes the Australian stone, and New Zealand is line one. So what can Jay Merchant do?
Lots of room. Whoa. No line.
Whoa.
8, 9.
9.
Here it comes, fellas.
No, nothing.
Ball there.
Here
Lots of weight.
it comes.
9, 9.
No bump, no bump, no bump, no bump.
Trying not to.
No bump,
Sit
no
down.
bump. Okay.
Okay.
It's looking a little bit like a mixed doubles end. Freeze and freeze and freeze. That one's fractionally heavy.
A bit. Still a fraction. Just a fraction, yeah.
Yep, that would be great. This is not bad either. Just play like here.
Back six.
Just back line.
Back on.
Brett Sargent being asked to play above back line weight.
Whoa!
Back ball!
Just looking to push the Australian stone deep in the house.
Back ball!
Oh,
Back line!
off, guys. Got a lot of curling to do. Little full.
Nice weight there from
Shot.
Sargent. And New Zealand is lying 2.
Yeah, pretty good. Keeps that redstone around his backing. Makes it more difficult for Australia to remove the O's.
I like that.
Yeah.
Setting up a bit of a
All right,
nest.
fellas, I'll try and...
Similar weight.
Huh?
Similar weight.
I don't want to throw too much last.
Just a freeze. Play the freeze.
Yep, I've curled a lot of games with Sean Becker over the years, and he likes to have rocks in play. He will keep rocks happily at the back of the house to use for backing or to potentially jam on.
9. It's coming down a little.
Line's close! Stay close! Looks like it. Yep! Yes! Hard! Hurry! Hurry! Hard! Hurry! Whoa! Hard! Whoa!
Great shot.
Shot.
Well done.
Well, they're all stacking up now. We're in a bit of a V formation.
Good shot. Same
Redstone belongs to the Aussies. It's right on the button.
Gonna have to try and move it.
Yeah.
Just spit it.
Just like...
Well, communications. So important.
Could go control. Control, we lose the shooter.
Yeah. Bumper will lose it too, though, won't he?
I don't mind this either, actually.
Step
Yeah.
back.
That was my first thought, but what do you think?
If we get inside
Bumper.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. You catch that? No biggie.
Sean Becker taking us through the options.
You're on bumper. You gotta go past
Sounds like they're going to play board weight at that redstone and hope to get inside it. Have to really squeak that top one to get inside.
Ball!
Whoa!
Bump up!
Close.
Bump up!
Whoa! First shot. Ready? Yep. Hard.
So switching gears now.
Go.
Okay, well, that kind of worked out. It wasn't the
Great.
A plan, but good awareness there from Sean Becker. Picking that up in mid-shot and making something of it.
Just sat out there. No, not really.
I didn't feel just held.
No.
Yeah, it's up weight.
I expected it to
Is
move a
up.
wee bit harder, but come in a
Positive
bit
up.
tighter. It's running a wee bit straighter, so it's all right. It's just set up a nice wee pocket in there now.
There's Ian Colangio. Everything behind the tee line now, so
Where is it?
Sander talked about a nest, and that's
Looks like 7.
got the potential for quite a few hatchlings in there now.
Do it. Not early.
Right to it!
Not early. Not early.
Okay. Nice sweep, boys. Great shot.
Nice touch there from Pelangio. Freezing the Kiwi rock. Hewitt and Merchant congratulating each other for their brushwork, and here you get a great look at it.
Right to it!
Not early. Not early.
Okay. Nice sweep, boys. Great shot.
Nice sweep indeed.
Go down! Down!
Extension.
Yeah! Hard, guys! Whoa! That one.
Oh, nice shot there from Warren Dobson.
Done
And New Zealand is line 3.
He's hitting 3. Here.
Yep. That weight was great, Ian. Same weight. This is all line here.
So some danger brewing here for Team Australia. Everything's behind the tee line, so they've got some get out of jail options, but boy,
A little more?
little mistake here and there, and they could drop a bundle in this end.
Line's good. Still going to bend a long way.
To it!
No.
To it!
Still going to bend a long way.
Back 4.
Long way, long way,
Back
long
4.
way.
We're
No,
to it.
no, 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 no.
They want to freeze right in front of the New Zealand stone, but
Okay.
just a fraction heavier than they would have liked. They are line 1. And we see Australian coach Archie Merchant.
Yeah, it's not leaving the house, but it's not.
Oh man, oh man, there's a lot of stones there, Chris.
We can't really hit it. Because we're just losing 2
Should
yellows.
we do that or that? There we see a great look at the stones.
I like just coming to it or sitting right in front of it.
Okay.
That would be fantastic there.
Yep.
But that's okay with a wee bump too, so.
I think 395 maybe. 395. No, 3 or 295.
Just confirming the weight they want to throw. Dobson has a couple of options here. Sounds like plan A is full in the top 4 foot, but
Pressure there then.
Line's good.
a couple of feet heavier and a small bump would be okay as well, says Sean Becker.
Come on, hard! Go hard, guys! Whoa up! We're gonna get a bump.
Over curling big time here. Gonna leave a stagger on the guards. Great chance for Australia to come around again and perhaps hit 2.
We got to come in here. Crucified and get down.
There's not the option there, Hans.
I thought I won't. You'll be throwing back button.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking tee back 2, but
Tolerance was the tap on the red. Not to leave another guard.
Sitting 1 at the moment, so
yeah.
we go top button, top 4.
Struggling a little bit to lock in the weights.
To the back one, yeah?
That's right. Absolutely.
That leads to a force, yeah?
Well, then leaves out the double.
Thinking like a 90 for me?
I like that.
Straight draw?
I think 90, yeah, even 95 probably get there.
Yeah. Okay. 90, 95 should be fine.
Here's Dean Hewitt. Had the chance for the deuce in the first end and just a little bit wayward with his hit. But a greater chance here to draw one in there and really put the heat on the Kiwis.
Line's good, front
Make sure,
4.
just make sure it's there, guys.
5, 6.
Just make sure it's there.
5, 6.
Needs to get a piece of the fall, guys. Come on! Come on! Hurry! Hurry!
Great line, just about the weight now.
Go, 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 go! Come on! Go, 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 go!
Beauty, nice shot, Dean.
Oh, beautiful shot there from Dean Hewitt. And Australia lies 2.
Yeah.
It's in a great spot.
Good spot.
Yeah, it's a great spot.
sure, isn't it?
Yeah, I said to him, top button, top 4 there is pretty good because it lines up that. But even if we come to the back one, it's not bad. Piece of
Guard
force,
up.
but
Draw up.
Yeah. Well, that
Still there drawing too.
Yeah, okay. It's got to go there.
Yeah.
The thing is, you rub this, you're in trouble because you sit here, he gets a wee hit and flop in there. You
Yep.
haven't got much, have you? Okay. There. There.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sean Becker's going to try and draw one right into the button area there and sit behind that, sit in front of that stone in the back of the 4 foot. He needs a piece of the button to be shot.
What do you reckon, weight-wise? I think it's 3. Okay. It's got to be on the button, really. Freezing that back one's fine, too.
We heard Sean say that if he was ever to tickle that one in the front of the button area, it could be quite bad for them.
Good. 4, 6.
Go away,
Bring
mate.
it. Yep.
You sure?
Have a look.
Yep, line.
Make sure it's here. Yep. Hard. See? Make sure they're hard. You got it. Hard.
Line, whoa, line.
Look. Whoa.
line.
Pretty good shot there from Becker. Maybe slightly overswept, but you didn't really want to come off it.
It's all right. Good sweep. Good sweep. Oh, sorry. Thanks, Jim. Sorry.
If you tap it,
Yeah,
like
we get a
3
look
and
at
2,
it
you
from our
shot it
overhead.
well, you get 2.
Okay.
So,
Just play the straight draw.
yeah, I think so. If we lock it on, we almost steal.
Yeah, you know the weight. Beautiful.
Same weight. Should be a better path through here, too.
Yeah.
Good talk here on the hack, saying, let's just play the straight freeze. If we can tap 3 inches, is perfect, but definitely the tolerance here to leave it a foot short.
I got the same split.
That make it harder for New Zealand to score 2, come up heavier and slip off the shot stone. It's pretty much just the same draw for Sean Becker. So
Just there.
Close!
70.
It's there. We're bumping. We're bumping. We're bumping.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
A
whoa.
little more weight than the first shot. Gets a bit of contact.
Sorry.
And it spills off. So who is shot? They're all having a look at it.
It's a fraction more. It's a fraction more, eh?
Yeah.
I got a 4 on it.
Yeah, just pounded it early and kind of took it away. But
He is fine. To the
Yeah,
red.
even onto the corner of that
Coming
one.
onto the red's good. If we
Yeah.
bump the yellow, we'll be 1. It
Yeah.
won't be 2, though.
So you're there before,
Oh, yeah, go
so you
right
come out
to there. Yep.
right out or just outside?
Just outside.
just a bit of an inexperience there showing, I think.
Face the red, catching a piece of the button.
It's just when you talk about tapping something 3 inches, it's so easy to
Be a measure.
throw it just a touch more because you
Face the
just
red.
want that touch. Because you just want the perfect shot.
As you go out wide,
You add a little too much. And
You need real discipline to play sweep for the bump, don't you?
Well, if we touch
Yep.
ours, we only get 1. I can't touch ours.
even if you drop that top of the 8 foot, it makes it really hard for New Zealand to score there too.
Well, we heard Sean say if we tap it, we don't get 2. So New Zealand think they're lying 1. This is the last stone of end number 2.
Gonna be T.
Little hotter, guys, I think. Little warmer.
Whoa.
Little
Where's the
warmer.
weight? Where is it? It's gonna be T. Gonna be here.
Gear line.
Yep.
Gear line.
4. Yeah, hard.
Gear line. Hard line.
Hard.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa now, whoa now.
Oh, nice shot there from Becker. 1 for sure.
only 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, but did it touch the yellow?
No, it didn't, Sean.
Yeah, it's 2.
And Dean Hewitt does confirm it is a 2-point end for New Zealand. Great shot there from Sean Becker. And the Kiwis get their deuce. After 2 ends of play, New Zealand takes the lead, leading it 2-1.
Good throwing.
Yeah, tough deuce.
Good sweep, guys.
Everything's coming.
Yeah,
Everything's coming a wee bit deep.
Yeah.
We're just sliding a wee bit deep. So
Bring the weights back a little.
yeah.
I just think this end is a wee bit.
Welcome back inside the Erina Ice Arena.
I'll go a little bit then.
You're enjoying
On you guys.
live
Good.
action from the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2017.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Hans Fraunlaub here with Sander Ulvag.
Here, guys.
Enjoying our
Okay.
game tonight. Trans-Tasman rivals. New Zealand versus
Okay,
Australia.
Good sweep. Good sweep.
Sander, that was kind of a deuce out of nothing there. There was a lot of stones behind the tee line, and they were accumulating, but a couple of nice stones there by skip Sean Becker, and the Kiwis come away with a deuce.
Line's good.
Yeah, Australia
Take 1, 2.
Okay, hard then.
had a chance to score 2 themselves in the first end.
Hard, guys.
Bit of a miss by Dean Hewitt. They only scored the 1.
Go.
Skips deuce by Sean Becker. Scored 2 in the second end, and the momentum has changed a little bit.
Sorry, guys.
The longest possible guard there from Hugh Milliken.
I forgot that we were throwing it down the heavy side, right?
That must be it.
Sorry, the heavy side.
Are they saying one way is a little quicker than the other? Perhaps.
Get tight. A little bit. Tight for line. Little tight for line, guys.
Go.
Tight. Well, that's going to over curl.
Go over curl. Curling.
Long. Long.
My goodness.
Whoa. I don't mind if that. Whoa, I don't mind if that dies.
Well, you have to remember that they've pretty much played both the ends on the right-hand side of the sheet as you see it. They haven't thrown very many stones on the left side.
That's real slow.
They've thrown the in turns in the first end and the out turns in the second end. So it makes sense that it's a little, it's a little more heavy on this, coming on this out turn.
Yeah, that one. Anton Hood just checking the running surface of the stone. That
I think you still got to go.
puzzled him.
Where is it?
Yep, gotta go. Oh, sorry. Gotta go. Gotta go. Looks really good. Yep, gotta go.
Yep, hard, guys.
Hard. Hurry.
Hard for weight.
Hurry.
Sweepers are getting a workout tonight.
A little bit. Okay. All right. That's okay.
Okay.
Pulls up short, but actually not too bad there.
It's actually a better corner guard.
Yep, and it's now protected by the long corner.
Well, let's bring it this way. That's
I broke through the one deep last year.
Get a bit of a guess.
That's never a great feeling when you're a skip. If you're, Sean Becker said it's a bit of a guess. Not quite sure how much it's going to curl.
Yep.
But now they're playing an in turn though, so should know this path a little better for speed, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Keep playing it. You got close.
Where?
Mid long.
Room.
Mid. Tight.
Here, guys.
Tight now. Tight. Nice tight. Tight now. Tight.
Line's really good.
Tight.
Oh, it's coming in. It's coming in.
Yeah, you can get freaked out a little bit when there's a couple of light stones and you think the ice is tightening up,
Stone,
and
Brent.
sweepers panic a little bit, and
3-8, I think.
it's not quite as slow as you think.
Yeah, I like rolling.
We'll try and roll here.
Yeah.
So that one's a little deeper than the Kiwis would have liked. So a chance here for Australia to maybe make the double takeout. Here's Jay Merchant. There's one, but it jams. Does it spin onto the rings? Yes, it does. So it's a bit of a bonus for the Australians. They've got the hammer here on end number 3.
Shot.
See that Australian stone and just biting the edge of the 12-foot. If you're new to our sport, if any piece of the stone is touching the painted circle, it's eligible to score. It doesn't have to be completely in the circle.
I rolled perfect, so.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Brett Sargon is the North Islander of this team. He's from Auckland.
Look quite soft out of
The rest of his teammates are from the South Island of New Zealand. This one's sliding deep.
Social.
Behind cover.
Yeah, hit and roll, or you make a double, that's good too.
So it's pretty flat.
Yeah, for sure. So don't really want to.
I was a bit nervous of this kind of pull up. Shot.
85.
Throw, Brent.
Okay, see 85.
This is the type of shot where you don't want to throw so much weight that you can actually roll over the top of it. Just throw enough weight to make the roll to freeze. If you catch it thinner, you get the double.
There's one, but
Okay.
just as you said, Sander, right over the top.
It's too much weight. If you had less weight, you can catch the same spot.
Try, Jake.
Just roll in front.
Good try.
Another inch. Yep.
I think.
T.
Here on the replay, we can see the contact point. Red Australian stone just catches that top one a little thick and rolls over the top.
So this ice, 3 or 5.
So now a good chance for the New Zealanders to
Oh, a lot of
force
room,
the
guys.
Australians to take a single point.
Oh, a lot of room, a lot of room. Gotta be here.
He's gonna go.
Still
Gotta be T-line.
running a bit scared though in this end.
Gotta be T-line.
Australia will have 3 or 4 chances at a double.
Leave it high, leave it high, I think. We're just gonna set up another double. Tough double. Okay, it's all right, Darby.
Yeah, I think so.
New Zealand lies 2. They would have liked that one a little deeper.
Nice
Tough
throw.
angle, though.
Do you want normal or up?
Yeah, just normal.
Okay.
There's Ian Palangio. There's the hit, there's the roll, but again, right over the top.
Okay. Good try. Oh, yes.
Australia a little bit snake bit on this double takeout attempt.
Either here or here.
We're getting closer.
And in Australia, when you're snake bit, that's a bad thing.
Okay.
You usually die.
I wouldn't say getting bit by a snake in Norway is a good thing either, but
You have snakes in Norway?
small ones. Never seen one, but
We've heard a rumor of a snake in Norway.
Looks a little quicker. Keep it coming. Here's great, guys. Here's great. Come on.
God.
Come on, guys. High, high.
Now, once again, in
Gonna
between,
be stuck in that grey area again.
right in the twilight zone.
Okay. You either got to be top full 12 or back 2, okay? Makes the double tough. Makes the hit and roll tough. It's all right. Didn't give you enough information.
Here's Palangio. Australia's 3rd attempt at the cross-house double. And is it 3rd time lucky? There's one. And now it's under it.
actually manages to push that Yellowstone a tad back up, if anything.
Well, Sean, I gotta say, just keep throwing the rock on the same spot because that's looking fairly, fairly locked in there by all appearances. Here's Palangio going, "You're kidding me." 2 over the top, 1 underneath.
Oh, I think 3, the last one. It didn't say 3, okay.
Still a similar weight down here?
Yeah, there's 3.
Yeah.
Don't forget the Australian stone just at the top of the 12-foot circle is biting the house. So
Yeah, just a normal 3.
if the Australians could ever make that double takeout, the deuce is on.
Back 2, guys.
So after that fantastic draw in the last end, Sean Becker now, his chance to try and split the house.
6. The line's good.
Felt
6
pretty
is
good.
Yep. Bring it all the way. 6 tight. Make sure it's 6.
Go, guys.
It doesn't sound like they're going to get it all the way down onto the tee line here.
Guys.
Yeah, have they got the rings?
Come on. Come on.
Must get a piece. No, it's short.
Good try.
Good sweep. Sorry, guys.
Freeze it on, I think. Yeah, I think
Keep
so.
curling away from the top of the house.
Yes, Anton, sometimes you want the house to be
I think it's
square.
not quite glide as much this way as that way.
Yeah.
Straight draw, see what happens.
See, the Yellowstones belong to the New Zealanders.
Yeah.
Straight draw. But I think the speed is down
But a bit of an opportunity lost for the Kiwis to perhaps force Australia to take a single point. And now here's a chance for Hewitt to draw around those corner guards.
Like an 85 for me, or yeah?
The youngest guy on the team. Also the only Australian-born player, I believe.
That's absolutely right, Dean Hewitt.
The rest of them, including the alternate, born in Canada.
And Dean is not only throwing fourth stones for Australia in this competition, but he and his mother Lynn were recently crowned the Australian mixed doubles champions, so they'll be going to the World Mixed Doubles Championships in Östersund in Sweden.
Well then. Well then.
It's there. Got to bend a long way. It's there. We're bumping. It's all there. We're bumping. We're bumping. No, we can't bump.
Lock it on.
You're bumping if you've got contact first, Jay. Here it comes.
Great shot. Great shot.
Oh, beautiful shot there from Dean Hewitt.
Great shot. Nice weight.
New Zealanders have to be a little bit careful here.
Bit of a guess through there about weight, but
Well, and it's tough, that shot, because, you know, now it's starting to get a little quicker, but it was
Yeah.
we hadn't played anything down there.
it takes a long time to go as well.
Yeah.
And the risk I was talking about, if Becker's a little bit heavy and he just bumps that yellow one back and
just
unlocks it,
Pretty much on the nose or just inside the nose. So.
it could leave Dean Hewitt a tricky shot, but maybe a makeable one for a 3. So
Is the number that I'm looking for down this same thing.
What'd you get?
Okay.
What'd you get?
Easy. Heaps of room.
Got a curl, guys. Got a curl.
Okay, make sure it's T.
Oh, 2.
Yep.
Needs it.
Hard, guys!
Hard.
Oh, wait, that's all.
Hard, guys!
Hard.
Come on! Hard!
well, they get it into the 8-foot. So New Zealand is shot. Well, not sure how much Dean Hewitt is going to be able to see. Might have that tricky shot I was talking about. If he can get to the nose, hit that Yellowstone right on the nose, Australia would score 3.
Fine. Can you chip off the red?
I threw this last night, so
Yeah, just nose?
yeah, nose is perfect.
Should be, that ice should be good.
Yeah. It's on the right side of the tolerance.
Yeah. Kind of weight?
Normal.
Normal?
Just normal?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Australia hits that Yellowstone right on the nose. It will hit the redstone into the yellow. And Australia would score 3.
Just normal.
Whoa!
Close.
Whoa!
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa! Yeah!
Whoa! Yeah, yeah, yeah!
It's close.
Yes! Whoa! Whoa!
There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Great shot there from Dean Hewitt. And Australia puts a 3 on the board. Terrific shot. Something out of nothing for the Aussies.
Quick, guys.
Great shot there from Dean Hewitt. Perfectly read. And Australia, after dropping the deuce, come back with a 3. Here's a look at it. Sweepers are on and off, and that's usually a clue that they are very close to what they want, and that is absolutely perfect. Great shot there from Hewitt. And the Australians jump out to a 4-2 lead.
That's all right. We got it.
I think so.
Here we go, guys. Let's do it. Great end.
That little biter here.
Well, if you're a fan of mathematics and patterns,
We've got overkill here.
Australia scored 1 in the first end.
Weight's good.
New Zealand scored 2 in the second end.
It's there.
Australia scored 3 in the third end. So could the Kiwis get a 4?
Yeah, I'll give you a bit more ice.
That kind of stops working after the 8th end, really. It's hard to get a 9. But
No, you work up till 5 and then back down for 3, 2, 1. And a blank extra.
here's New Zealand lead and Todd Hood. 67% for the game.
Leave it light. Leave it light.
Just watch it. Fresh a piece of ice. Here it goes. You can. That's pretty good. Nice weight. Stone, Anton. Shut.
Come a long way. Come a long way. Huh?
Nice corner guard there for the Kiwis. She Milliken, 67% so far in this match.
That come a long way.
What do you think? You ready to throw? Normal?
Yep. What normal? 20?
Gonna come this way.
Yeah. It's still normal? Double!
Yep.
Yes! Yes!
Hard! Hard! Oh!
It's kind of fun as a lead player to throw the double takeout, isn't it, Sander? You don't get that many chances in a game
Where'd you get on that?
to throw the heat.
Maybe. Maybe.
No, and
Good throw, Anton.
all the more impressive to make the shots when you do. Especially when it comes to championship, you know, in practice, even if you're a lead, you can throw as many hits as you want.
Be a
But
biter, maybe.
when you finally get to a championship, it could take a couple days before you get to throw a high hard one, and then just the mechanics of everything, you're just a little bit out of it. So sometimes you'll see a lead miss takeouts just because of just having thrown one in days.
Exactly. Jay Merchant, 83% for the match. Well, this one's over curling, and it's a miss.
Hey. Sorry, Hugh.
Same can't be said for second players, though.
No, they throw a few more hits than the leads do.
Coming down.
Yeah. Just got it going.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Jay fesses up. So they started that one, Hugh. He says it's okay.
It's raining like crazy.
That's loud.
Yeah.
Well, 3. Mine curled a long way.
Yeah. Positive 3.
Here's Brett Sargan, 75% for the game.
Hey, T.
Where?
4.
Whoa! Whoa, Rook!
4. 4.
Looks a bit quick.
2 T. 2 T, yeah, T. Good T.
Here's okay.
T, yeah, it's back there.
Love to tuck a corner behind that guard if they can.
Yep. Hard! Hard, guys! It's a good shot.
Probably is hiding just a corner.
Still don't mind that top one. Roll over. Still don't mind this shot.
I don't mind that, yeah.
I'll try and hit the broom this time. Okay. All right, let's make this broom.
No way! You got the double the other way? No.
That way?
Come on up. No, it's not going to go that far.
Okay.
Okay.
Bit of an overcorrection there.
I was just going to say, so often happens after a miss, a little bit full.
Sure of that one.
Yeah. Jay confessing again. Wasn't going to be tight.
Sorry, Hugh.
Well, this could set up for a 3 for New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah, great chance here.
Right off.
Basically, if they come around the corner here, Australia peels the guard.
3 or 4.
Kiwis put the guard back on. Keep doing that for a little while. Score 3 in the end. Australia might have to risk playing a freeze or something. The 4 could come into play. Yeah. The first straw needs to be made, of course.
And Dobson trying to drag this stone into the rings. They're by the guard, well by the guard. The weight's not bad. Trying to bury a corner of it. Good brushing there from Anton Hood.
It leaves it open. I think a double might be on here.
just hung out there a while.
It was a bit more positive that one.
Yeah.
Maybe a corner hidden.
That's control. I like that.
He squeaks the guard. He might make the double. Not too much
Still
risk
get
of
the
a
nose
jam.
here easily.
Yeah.
You don't have to make the double on the nose here, though. Just play the hit and roll towards the center line. The slash double.
Langio at 79% for the game. They're jumping it immediately.
Yeah, wrecking on the guard here is not the tolerance at all. But he will.
My goodness.
Huge mistake.
And that, as Sanders said, if the Kiwis had a chance, they'd throw the guard, and
Really close all the way down.
all of a sudden, multiple point end is in the wind for the New Zealanders. 75% so far in the match for Warren and Dobson.
Mid tight. Mid.
Whoa.
Mid.
Whoa.
Got a curl.
Whoa.
It's got a curl, guys. Let it move for a start.
Mid. Mid tight.
Whoa.
Tight. Full tight. 6.
Really?
6.
Yep.
Now it's going to be a freeze. Too heavy.
Just a bit.
It's just really going.
Good try, Dobby.
If anything, the angles aren't too bad for New Zealand. It's going to be hard to get all three going here.
Yep. Might get rid of 2, but hard to see all 3 going.
Yeah. Firm. One play the other way. Okay.
Depends on the drag effect, maybe, if that's second stone, but there's a bit of a gap there, so it probably won't drag. Well, once again, Milliken calls the sweepers on straight out of hand. And that usually indicates he's a bit narrow. Got one. There jams. And sticks around, so still a pair in the wind here for the New Zealanders. Jams the back stone. And leaves the other Kiwi stone splitting the house.
Yep. Yeah, go closer to the 3. Maybe edge of the button. Just inside.
Here?
Yes.
Kind of the same problem Australia had in the first end. It's just, where'd you put this not to leave a double?
Yeah, you'd ideally want to get it all the way to the edge of the 12-foot, but you want to be careful. You can curl it right off the sheet if you're not careful.
6. Just keep looking up.
Sweepers on it immediately. They think it's a bit light.
Stay with it.
I think more often than not, teams over-ice these shots.
Want to be here.
I rarely see teams over-curl the house.
T-line, just behind. Come on.
I don't think we're very close to doing that on this occasion either.
Shot.
Nice touch there from Dobson. Kiwis lie 3.
It's a tough double.
Yeah.
Good throw. I thought they would finish, but I thought they would move a wee bit more than that.
You got to throw peel here.
Yeah.
It's fairly
Double?
flat.
Yeah, flat double,
Just
eh?
a little bit high side.
2/3-ish.
Yeah.
We're just about like that.
Sure.
The Australians think the double is there. So expect some heat from Dean Hewitt.
It's pretty flat.
Sure is.
How hard can this boy throw?
That one's got a vapor trail behind it.
Hurry! 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 Come, guys, go!
There's one, and there's 2. Nice shot there from Dean Hewitt.
This way.
Shot. Great shot.
I guess it was there.
Yeah, made that look easy.
Sure did.
That was flat.
Yeah, that was
Call
pretty
that
flat.
Very flat.
And we see perfect contact point. Didn't have to hit that one very hard. He only had to move it 2 feet. Mission accomplished for Team Australia.
Sure did.
And young Dean Hewitt. Cool as ice out there.
This way or that way? Go that way.
I didn't see any out here in practice, so I'm just not
Okay.
sure. Okay.
I'll
Do more control. Yeah. Be a positive control. Yeah.
I think he's playing control.
So once again, Sean Becker a little uncertain about the line. You're a bit conflicted because you want to keep the weight down to keep the stone in play, but
I think it'll
if you're
come
not
quite hard here when it moves.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah. Keep it moving. Well, we're going to hang around.
Exactly. You need to throw it hard enough to make sure the break doesn't get you, but you don't want to throw it so hard that you lose your shooter. New Zealand must stick around if they want to get their dues.
Oh, yeah, hard.
Hard! Hard! No stop, hard.
Gotta go hard! Real hard, guys!
Sweepers are coast to coast. Will it stick around? I think it's going to over curl.
Oh, jeez.
Will it stick around? Yes, it does. Just enough house to hang around.
Oh, there's some curl there. I think so. Great sweep, guys. Great sweep.
Yeah. Appreciative of the effort of his front end players to hold the line on that one. Keeping it in the house. And this looks an awful lot like that angle of those doubles they were trying in the last end, Sander. Not an easy angle for the Australians at all.
I'll throw the in-turn. I think we know that path pretty good.
Yeah, here we
It's
go.
normal. You flop right in front of it. I'll throw your weight. Like, good normal. Oh, yeah.
So, Sander, do you think the shot is really just to hit and roll in front of the back rock here? Is that the plan?
Yeah, I think the double is just way too thin to take on. Just not really necessary. So just hit and roll. Just please roll for shot here. Make Sean Becker play the hit.
Yep. Yes! Hurry! Sit.
Shot. Okay, that works fine.
Good enough for shot, Stone.
Yep.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Fine.
Nice
It's not,
pressure.
it's not the first time he's overcurled his in-turn hits, though.
That's true.
That's what happened in the first end. Pretty much the
A
same
bit wide, so I got it.
path, just the opposite direction.
Well, the draws are all going late.
Yep.
It's always a bit more icky throwing shots from the inside and out.
This could hang, because they do hang with a wee bit of...
It's probably where I miss more of my shots.
Outside in? Well, we heard Sean Becker say, just be careful. A little positive weight. They can track sometimes. This is the last stone of end number 4. Nose hit for the Kiwis, and they will tie the game up.
Hard! Hard!
Sweepers are going hard on it, though. They need to hold the line.
Hard, guys!
Hard!
I think it's going to over curl.
Hard!
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my goodness. It's a complete miss. It over curls, and it's a steal of 1 to Australia.
Flynn, pick something.
Oh, Dobson thought that one picked, regardless.
No, I think it picked something, eh?
Really puzzling result. Sean Becker, disappointment for the Kiwis, but a steal of 1 to Australia. So as we
You threw it nice. You set it out.
hit for end number 5, Australia moves to a 5-2 lead.
Yeah, just...
I don't know. I thought it felt like it threw it pretty good, but...
I think your weight was the same as your first one.
No, I think it might hit a mark just for the camera guy.
Oh.
It came out.
Lines ahead, tight.
I think it's not too bad.
Welcome back to Erina, the Erina Ice Arena.
Close.
Central Coast
I think I can do. Yeah, a little bit. Go, 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 go.
in Australia.
Front 4.
About 1 hour's drive north of Sydney. Absolutely stunning area.
Shot, Hugh.
Shot.
It's a good shot, Hugh.
And the home team,
Moving.
Yeah.
I think they caught themselves a bit of a break there in end number 4, Sander. We heard the New Zealanders say after Becker's last shot, Warren Dobson thought it might have picked something up, but regardless, what was looking like a 2 or a 3 for the New Zealanders and maybe a tie game all of a sudden turned into a steal of 1 for the Australians.
Yeah, it doesn't take much for
Fine, guys.
a rock to veer off course. Just a piece of hair, some rubber from the grippers.
Be out of play.
Anything really.
Just stop, over and stop. I like Anton.
And that is the worst way to start and end after giving up a steal. Hogging your corner guard makes it really tough to get anything going.
Yeah. Disappointment for Hood. Milliken now is looking to punish that. The Australians may be sensing the Kiwis may be being a bit demoralized, so Australian sportsmen, doesn't matter what the code is, when they sense there's a chance for the kill, they go for it.
You guys enjoyed a good record against the Kiwis. First 12 times he played New Zealand, they won. Peter Becker skipping New Zealand back then. But the previous 10 matchups between New Zealand and Australia in the men's, New Zealand has won 6 of those 10 games, so it's evening out.
Yes, if you'll indulge me a bit of nostalgia, I was actually involved in the first New Zealand victory over Australia. It was a big moment for New Zealand.
And positive.
At the moment, it's 31-18 total score between these two nations in the men's competition at the Pacifics.
So again, Becker looking to generate something with just some soft taps to create backing.
There's okay too. Yeah. On the nose. Out turn. It's normal. Sure.
Make sure of it.
Just normal.
The experienced Hugh Milliken is not going to fall into that trap. With a 3-point lead, he does not want any stones to accumulate, never mind New Zealand stones.
All right. Is that really cut?
He just wiggled that one through. Almost jammed on his own.
Weight was good. Line was all right.
Yeah.
And we see Hewitt and Pelangio trying to hold the line. Nudges his own stone going by. So, can the Kiwis bounce back? Don't need to get it all at once. It's a 10-end game. Quite important that the New Zealanders score in this end.
Raising.
Go hard, guys. Go hard, guys. Go hard.
Really nice little tap there to sit in the pocket. That'll be pretty much impossible to get rid of.
We 1 and 2. 1 and 2. I don't mind that.
He's just going to blast.
He's playing this. He's going to blast and sit 2. Or can't really hit it.
He could potentially sit 2.
Yeah.
So we kind of got to get this one in.
I think so.
Even if I'm over 8 foot on that side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just basically, if he makes the shot, his will be top 12, and so we just want to be in there somewhere. Okay. Even 8 foot. What are we thinking over
Be
here,
aware of
guys?
the path. It might
Like
be
an
a touch
80?
pressure here.
Thinking an 80?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we'll give it a go. Why don't we give it a go?
Yeah. Okay,
80.
T-line, 8 foot.
I don't think we can hurt it. Or was it? Guess we gotta go.
Looks like. Gotta go.
Well, that was
Gotta
an
go
80.
hard. Gotta go. Take it easy.
Hewitt and Pelangio doing a nice job.
Whoa, no double.
Shot.
Good shot.
I didn't know what to throw there. Good sweep.
Perfect. Nice weight.
Yeah, I didn't know what to throw there, eh?
Yeah. 78.
All right. Thinking somewhere around that 80, but
We're going to have to move something at some stage.
Red stones belong to the Australians.
Well, we could play this.
Yeah, ricochet and then they'll come in.
Was like both yellows go over.
Play that, I think.
Set.
While we're there, we're line 3, so we're going to move something.
Yep.
Okay?
What happens if we go just inside of nose with our yellow?
Well, we could play this. Try to get a roll over here.
Yeah.
I mean, if it curls, it's cut and big. You catch half that, it's not bad. You roll over there as well.
I like that.
So,
Control, or do you want to play normal?
I'm thinking control.
Control, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the red or the yellow? The red.
You could throw normal. What, is this your first one? Or you
Fourth.
Yeah.
Second. Okay.
So you're going for the...
Good throw.
Oh, you catch that there and roll over and take that out. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Yep.
You throw normal then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a couple of options for the New Zealanders. Becker was originally looking at a play on the red stone just outside the left-hand side of the red 4-foot circle.
Let's make this.
But now they're saying we can just hit our own stone, drive it on the red, roll our own over towards the other Australian rock.
Yep.
So a couple of options here.
Yep.
Milliken and Merchant looking on.
No!
Whoa! Whoa!
You're close, you're close.
Well, you go close.
Yep. 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 Hard!
Did they leave it too long?
Oh! Bounce up.
It's a pretty good result for the Kiwis.
Yeah, hard to do much better than that.
Just need to kill.
That's okay. Good throw, Brett.
Just nose that one.
Nose. Hair high is good too.
Straight on the nose. Yep.
Look at the action of the shot rock spinning over towards the other Australian stone.
God, that was a good sweep. Yeah.
Hood and Dobson trying to hold the line. Would have loved it to sit just a little higher, but that's awfully good.
Little up.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Close. Gee.
That's
Wow.
not bad.
That's a great shot.
I think that's even
Dandy.
better. I think that's even better.
I like that.
Well, stops the double and roll.
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't believe how much I
That's a
think
great
that's even
shot.
better. I think
Good
that's
shot.
even better. Stops the double and roll.
Right.
So
It's a great spot.
Okay. But then you kind of punch in those yellows, don't you? Okay.
Merchant and Hewitt will certainly like it. So what can Warren Dobson do?
Double! Whoa!
Close.
Whoa! Close!
Not foot.
Yep! Yep! Hard, guys! Hard! You're not kidding. You're not kidding. Threw it well, Dobby. Just cut like anything there.
Wasn't our fault.
What's that?
Wasn't our fault.
Same shot, eh?
Give me nose, it's good.
Nose?
okay.
Just stay right there. Okay. It's got a big finish to it. It's going to take a touch more. Okay. Same weight?
Yeah, I think so, eh? It was good.
Same weight.
Whoa. Close. Yeah. Whoa. Yes. Whoa. Hard. Step. Whoa. 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 Yep. 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 Whoa. 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 Sorry, it's dicey there.
Yeah, that's good.
Australia line 2.
Jesus, couple of rocks just sweet, guys.
Yeah.
I didn't want to roll in the pile
I think so.
either.
Yeah. On off all the way down.
At some point,
Well,
Becker
no,
will be
it's me.
thinking about the double, but maybe not
Got
yet.
this.
Yep.
You hit and flop.
Control.
Because
Okay.
sometimes you've got to play the other one.
What about
Flash from me. Which could happen.
Don't mind that.
Yeah, it's toughy, but
Tough roll, but
they'll still be sitting 2 up here.
okay.
We
What
hit
about
that on the
hitting that one
nose.
on
He's
the
got a
nose?
double into there.
Yep. What about hitting that one on the nose? Hit and roll across.
What do you reckon, Brett?
I like.
Nose is no good.
I like nose, and even if you
Roll's not really any good either, but
Because even if you catch
well, it could be. There.
then you might take that back anyway. Yeah. Well, wait. Control. Yeah. I'm in close.
So after a bit of conversation, the New Zealanders settle on making a play on the Australian stone in the front 8-foot.
Control.
Yeah, I think the hit and roll to the wing
Yep.
still the
Yep.
shot here. Just try and roll as far as you can, really.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Make Australia hit on the wing.
whoa.
And if they then sit outside the 8 foot, you can make the blend the shots, don't.
Yeah.
But rolling out, obviously,
Good try, Dobby.
not a good option.
Oh, and that one, everything at normal curls a full stone in a bit. That one doesn't curl much. That's right. We'll chat it.
4 minutes. Okay.
Even if we get nose, it's not terrible.
That's good. Take it.
Just make it go away.
Yeah.
If we get nose, it's not bad either.
Is this firm weight?
Yep. Just normal.
Normal up?
Just normal. Good normal.
New Zealand has the hammer here in the 5th, but
Here we go.
if Australia can eliminate that yellow Kiwi stone, they'll be lying perhaps 3.
Didn't sound like the most ambitious call here. Just
Make it go away.
make it go away. might as well sit around, I think. I think that's pretty much a perfect result, actually.
Yeah.
Andy, pistol.
And the Aussies do, in fact, lie 3, and they're going to force New Zealand to
Thanks.
either hit and stick or draw the 4-foot to save their 1.
It's pretty good through there.
That's really well.
You're going out into a fresh ice here, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't think it's quick this way as well as going down that way either.
We could just hit it then.
Well, you know, so what's he going to do? He's going to sort of hit and try and roll the
Other
centre,
option
isn't
is
it?
come here. Possibly.
And force him to draw around to you.
Oh, then he probably puts one top 2.
Yeah.
You know, makes
Depends
it tough.
where you lie, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Either, yeah, nose and stick, then
Yeah,
force
okay.
him to draw,
No.
or we just freeze it.
Yep. Try it. Gotta play it.
That
See
middle.
what happens. Yep.
So it is the
Well, you got any
freeze.
tighter? I mean, we're inside the red to go to the edge of the white before, so.
Yep.
It does sound to me, though, that
Probably have a
Sean doesn't have bulletproof confidence in where to put the brush. He does feel like he's fighting the ice in terms of line.
yeah.
That's never a great place to be. Dobson holding the target. Becker will attempt to freeze the Australian stone.
Go.
Okay, it's got to be T.
Top 4, gotta go.
All the way, hard. Hard.
Line's good, guys. Hard if you can. Hard,
Hand.
come on.
All the way, hard.
Come on, guys.
Hard.
This one's going to come
Get
up
a body.
short.
Jeez.
Way short.
Right again. Sorry, guys. Just 05. I mean, yeah, well, I got to throw 95 then. If you give me a 3 and I'm throwing 05, you should be able to put it there. We should be able to put it there easy.
A bit slower side.
Yeah.
95.
Seems to be a
Just fresh ice.
bit of miscommunication
Yeah.
there.
Fresh ice, we go off the track.
I think it's pressure and some.
Tough, yeah.
In terms of how quick that path was.
Yeah, but I think he is really good too.
Yeah, but by the 5th end of the game, you should really have
I
a
think so.
pretty solid feel for the ice. And quite clearly, the Kiwis
Yeah.
don't.
Even if we're short, that's fine. Yeah.
It's really, as long as it's in the way of his draw.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Sean
I
Becker
think
was
like a
close to
almost
throwing
a
the
4
split
for
time
me
they were looking for. It's just
for that weight.
apparently the
think he had
wrong
4
split
for me?
time to be throwing in the first place.
We heard him say 305, and he was trying to throw 3.0, and so that's not far away as far as Sean was concerned.
That'll be just short.
Even if we just bite, as long as it's in the way.
Sometimes the ice, you just need to be a fraction positive to get it there. And sometimes you just can't quite drag it as far as you think you can with your brushing.
And split times can differ, of course. Throwing 3.0 2 times in a row doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stop the same place.
Yes.
All depends on how much you add at release and so on. So it's not a.
Keep it straight.
I'll never give you a perfect result. You should always trust your gut as well, both as a sweeper and thrower.
Hot guys. Whoa.
Stopwatch is merely just
What'd you get
an
on
aid
That
to
is,
Okay, got a 4.
that is bad.
keep a track of the ice. As you see, Dean Hewitt pulling up short here, so clearly a little slower coming down this path.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still a bit fresh.
Got it good.
Yeah, that path is fooling them both.
Alright.
Does not want to throw it.
We just,
You got to be 3 wide.
yeah, we just don't know what we're going to be throwing for weight. That's the problem. Do we? I think throw this.
Yeah, you're not going to.
Play the bump. No, play the bump.
bump, step
Yeah,
back.
the bump. Play the bump.
You like the shot, Sander?
Not whatsoever.
What are his options? Just draw?
Yeah.
They're throwing back 2, at least back 2, back 4.
I mean, there's
So it should hold it out there.
many crazy options. You could play a
Can't see any other option. Like
head
the
and
ice
roll
is
off
just
the
dead
wild
back.
winger if you're so inclined. But I think the obvious call here is just to draw the forfeit.
You've got to throw the bump.
Yeah.
Even if you don't really know the speed, I think you have a much better chances of making the draw than the tap. Just a
Sean is clearly spooked about that out-turn path. He definitely doesn't want to throw it, and he's electing a tougher shot instead. He's going to try and promote his own stone.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
And number 5 on its way.
Should be pretty good.
Line.
Back 2, back 4.
Yes, line, yes, line.
The line.
Hard line, guys.
Hard.
Hard line.
Hard.
Hard line.
Hard.
Hard line.
This, I think, is going to tick the guard. No, he's past it, but...
Go, Tommy.
And it cuts them out of 1, but it's a steal of 2 to Australia, so... Didn't love the shot choice and didn't quite come off for the New Zealanders, and now Australia is firmly in command, following a steal of 1 with a steal of 2. And as we hit the 5th end break, in the midpoint of this contest, Australia now moves out to a 7-2 lead.
Overcurled there actually because it stopped his straight draw. Holy Christ, that's different.
Yeah, that's tough. All those finesse shots.
Yeah.
Is he just tight? Pretty
I
pick.
think it's getting flat.
Yeah. But he was
Watch out, Dean.
way tight out of
And
there.
we've only played on one side.
I thought it was on the guard.
It didn't look like it was, far out.
Start, fellas.
I need to get some water because I'm leaking like a sieve.
You are. You're a little wet.
And
I'm going to go for a little.
it's a real sturdy operation you got going here.
Good throwing.
Yeah, thanks.
It's good. A couple of big shots you made that nice double for 3. And we went down here. Nice.
Yeah. You need water, anyone? I'm going to get a refill.
Hey, this ice is tough.
Yeah.
Gee. Guys? Yeah. So I'm glad we're not throwing those finesse shots. He's having a great game.
Australia versus New Zealand. New Zealand's Sean Becker with a delicate but makeable shot for 2. Needs a piece of the button and makes it perfectly, giving New Zealand a 2-1 lead.
Everything's coming a wee bit deep. Yeah. We're just sliding.
There we go. You got it.
Final stone of the 3rd end. Australia's Dean Hewitt with a delicate but makeable shot for 3. Needs to hit it right on the nose, and he makes it perfectly. 3 points for Australia, and they break out to a 4-2 lead. In the 5th end, facing 3, Instead of electing the draw on the open side, Sean Becker electing a tap. It over curls, pushes his own stone on the rings, but it's a steal of 2 to Australia.
It wasn't bad that we
And at the halfway point of the contest, they have a commanding 7-2 lead. So here we have a look at the team stats at the halfway point of the game. And in shooting percentage terms, there's not much to pick between them, Sander, but the bottom line of the stats is really what's telling the tale here. 3 stolen points for the Australians, and that's really given them the edge on the scoreboard.
Yeah, still time though to pull this game around. Always tough to look at a 5-point deficit, but you play 10 ends and add the championships.
Yep, there are 5 ends left to play, so the New Zealanders definitely don't need to get it back all at once.
Looks like lots of weight.
They're able to score a pair here in end number 6, then
Lots of room.
that puts them back in the ball game.
Lots of weight.
Looks almost through.
I was trying to be positive, but not that positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's through.
It's all the way through.
Whoops. That's what often happens at the 5th end break. The ice technicians just do a little brush with the sheepskin and almost always adds a couple of feet of pace to the ice, and Hugh Milliken got bit by that one, throws it through the house. Here's Anton Hood.
Yeah, a couple of things. Yeah, mopping the sheet, taking some debris off of it, and also they tend to put a little extra pebble around the hacks. Sometimes it just gets you going a little bit quicker. We call it the pebble trap back home.
Looks like Anton Hood is also caught in the pebble trap. This one's sliding deep as well.
I know we're short on time, but we don't need to chuck them through yet.
Yeah, I was just going to say, New Zealand struggling a little bit for time. Just less than 15 minutes left on the clock to play the remaining 5 ends. So spent well more than half their time so far.
They do have one timeout in their pocket, but yes, they will have to keep it moving.
38 minutes, so usually you'd like to have at least 19 minutes coming into halftime. They have 15, so make sure not to waste too much. The good thing about the 38 minutes, it's thinking time, not playing time anymore. So yeah, you're only spending time when you're thinking, basically. You're not penalized for playing draws like you were in the past. So essentially, you could play a curling end in 30 seconds if you wanted to.
Still looks a little hot, guys.
Just need to be ready to play. Once the stone's in motion, your thinking time clock stops.
Yeah, and this is a good thing for any front-end player.
Okay, Anton, good try.
Especially, you know, leads in seconds. If they can be fairly quick and just come out the hack, you save so much more time, and just leaves a skip with a little extra time to have a breather and think about their shots.
Yeah, 10 seconds a shot really does add up over the course of a game. Here's Jay Merchant.
Little up. Little up.
The problem I've had is if you playing with players who's been a skip in the past, you end up with 3 or 4 player or skips on a team. You have 3 or 4 players with a really long pre-shot routine, spending a lot of time in the hack.
And they also like to have a bit of input about the shot selection too, don't they?
Oh, yes.
What sort of weight?
Back 4, just here, back line, go.
Back 4.
We won't name names here on the broadcast, obviously. But you know who you are. Brett Sargan.
Yeah, back 6. 2. Top 2. Line's good.
Where is it?
Back 4.
It's like
back 2. Back 4.
I couldn't see Canadian Jeff Stoughton play lead for a team. You know, coming down off the ice, back, corn broom.
Yeah.
It takes a little time, yeah.
There's a lot going on there for Jeff, and Jeff is now the head of the program of the Canadian Mixed Doubles program, so can you imagine Jeff playing mixed doubles? with that pre-shot routine. That'd be pretty tough.
And a corn broom.
And a corn broom. Can't see it myself. The mixed doubles discipline of curling will be making its Olympic debut in Pyeongchang in just under 100 days' time.
Similar weight.
Same weight.
Similar weight.
Yep.
Yeah, skip of Team Australia. Hugh Milliken's had something to do with the mixed doubles in recent years.
Yes, he was a vice president of the World Curling Federation in addition to being a competitive player. And yes, he has really been a proponent of the mixed doubles discipline.
Back line. Whoa. Back line.
Still a very young discipline.
Back six. Back line.
Yes, it is. And if you haven't seen mixed doubles before, you want to do yourself a favor when the Olympics start. It's actually the first sport on the program in Pyeongchang. The mixed doubles tournament actually starts the day before the opening ceremonies. And it's worth a look. It's different, it's fast, there's lots of rocks in play. Very athletic, very entertaining.
So with a 5-point lead here, Australia just want to hit anything else. If they could actually spill one of their own reds here, I don't think they would mind. They won't. So leaving quite a few rocks in play for Sean Becker to play around with.
Good shot.
Yes, at this point, the New Zealanders can throw caution to the winds. They're down 5, so
Through 90.
they're going to be gambling with anything they can right about now. Don't need to overdo it, though. As we said at the beginning of the end, a pair would be great. Here's Warren Dobson.
Yep, back line. Back line. Yep, line. One out. Oh.
Same back line. Six
Back
up.
line, is it?
6 up.
Okay.
Pushes it through the rings.
Try it, Obi.
Yes, speaking of the Olympics,
We're still quite quick down
we
here.
do have some Pyeongchang Olympians here in the field this week. Japanese women's team, Japanese men's team,
Straight peel. Okay, straight peel.
Korean women's team, Korean men's
I don't
team.
mind the straight peel.
Yeah, I don't mind either.
China still has an opportunity to make it into the field in Pyeongchang via the Olympic qualifying event, which will be held next month.
Okay.
Pelangio picks out the Kiwi stone. So Australia settling into cruise mode now. 5-point lead.
Shot in.
Yeah, T, top 2.
Make sure he's here.
Yeah, gotta go top 4, 6.
We mentioned that Dobson and Becker are also Olympians from Torino.
All right, guys.
Hugh Milliken also competed in the Olympics, but before it was a full medal sport. He competed in demonstration events. Curling became a full medal sport in 1998 in Nagano.
Good weight, good throw. Well, it's down that inside track. It's just there was nothing played in those early ends going away.
What's that?
Down those out-turn side.
This is a big year for the Pacific Asia region. A recent change at the World Curling Federation Congress has increased the field size of the World Men's and World Women's Championships to 13 teams, and the effect of that is that 3 teams from this competition will qualify to go forward to the World Championships. It's the first time ever for the Pacific Asia region to have 3 representatives. So often you hear teams that make the playoffs and they lose the semifinal and they're kind of dejected about playing in the bronze medal match. But at this tournament, the bronze medal match means an awful lot, Sander. It's either a trip to Vegas for the men or a trip to North Bay for the women on the line.
Just got to watch our time too.
Yep.
Yep, I've played my fair share bronze medal games.
Sort of back 2, back 4, and just move that 1.5.
It's never super fun, but of course when you have something like that to drive you, I think that makes the game a lot more exciting.
Absolutely. And these two teams would love to be in the playoff hunt. 9 teams in the men's competition. 4 will make the playoff round. Australia, host nation, getting off to a really good start. They're 2-0, and if they can hold the lead here tonight, go to 3-0.
Hard line, guys.
That wouldn't guarantee them a playoff place, but you'd much rather be 3-0 than 0-3.
Right to it, freeze it.
Whoa.
Real nice weight here by Schoenbecker, just over curls though.
It's gone right across the other side. He's just gone right out the other side.
Yeah.
Peel?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Dean Hewitt just wants to run down to the hack and just blast it.
Yeah, let's just make it go
We'll go
away.
straight through the hole and
Yeah, and if we double,
just high side.
Yeah, and the most important thing to remember here is Australia doesn't really have to score any more points to win the game. They're up 7-2.
Rushes down early.
Definitely don't have to steal any points. Just try and limit New Zealand to 1. And then try and keep things open and score 1 back themselves.
Yep. Clean. Yep.
Good looking shot here from Hewitt. Picks it clean through the hole. Australians lie to.
great shot.
Good.
Can't go wrong with that.
Good sweep.
Great shot. Same way.
You can just see his confidence growing through the game, Sander. He's got a very confident demeanor about him now.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of pressure playing with 3 highly experienced players.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to be a little bit intimidating, but he's doing well.
They've obviously got a lot of faith in young Dean Hewitt, and he's certainly delivering the mail tonight.
This time Schoenbecker will play the draw.
A little more positive.
Okay,
Keep an eye on it.
As there's no stones to tap up.
A little more positive.
makes it 2 foot. Give an eye on it. Yep. Looks like you like.
Needs full 8. Have they left it too long? Is this one going to pull up as well?
Keep going.
Whew.
Sweep, guys.
Nice save job there by the front end. They drag it in for a piece of the forefoot. And New Zealand scores 1. But moral victory there for the Australians. We head to the 7th end of play. It's Australia holding a strong 7-3 lead.
It just comes straight round.
Well, if they throw the guard, we'll do a dig shot.
If you want to.
Or do you want to go around it?
Tight.
Whoa.
Can we wait?
Leave it late, guys. Leave it real
Bit
late.
tight.
Whoa.
Leave it real late. Real late.
Welcome back. You're enjoying live curling action from the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2017 in Erina, Australia. Hans Frauenlob here with Sander Rolvag. Single point for the Kiwis, but the Australians now have the hammer in the 7th and are in a pretty strong position, you'd have to say.
yeah, it's just all about keeping
Lines ahead,
things
Ty.
open here and
Can't hurt it.
Yes!
just score the single point.
Yes!
It should be enough for them.
Hot! Hot!
8 foot, you.
Hurry, guys!
8 foot.
6. Okay, go, go, go,
Whoa.
go, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Five die.
Sit.
Shot. Nice.
Sit down.
Shot.
Shot.
Good space, wait.
Wait was great.
Here, look.
Go.
Easy. Got to curl a wee bit.
Can we wait? Yeah.
Make sure it's just over and off, guys.
Looks
Over and off.
a little more than long, is it?
Can we get half around it? Nah, it's going to be beside it.
Yep. Put it right beside it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Oh, that's, yeah, okay.
All right.
Is he on that one?
Well, if you're a fan of Team New Zealand, you're going to have to be a fan of larceny, because really the formula for the Kiwis from here
Haven't played many.
would be stealing the game out. Stealing 7, 8, 9, and 10 to tie it, and then steal an extra end to win it. So,
Yep.
in poker terms, the Kiwis are all in. They're throwing center guards in an attempt to try and build that first of 5 steals that they would need.
It's good, wait, it's good.
Where only? Whoa!
Whoa,
To it!
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Careful, freeze.
Just
Yep.
7. Just 7.
Yep.
Ooh.
Shot.
Nice shot, Hugh.
Great shot.
2 really nice draws by Hugh Milliken.
That's a
It's
pistol.
so important that when you have a lead that
I don't mind that. Like, those guards are so far
you
along.
keep your stones in front of the tee line. You know, throw a couple of stones on the back of the house there. It's creating so many problems for you, and you might be giving up a steal or two.
Yep, keep it moving. Wait,
Very
don't
nice
wait.
shooting there by Hugh Milliken.
Have a look. Whoa. Line's good. Wait only. Whoa, have a look. Whoa.
4.
That's the thing about curling.
Little bit.
You never lose a touch.
Yeah, Hugh is
Shot.
60 years young, and he has still got the touch.
Throw, Brett.
Shot.
It's like riding a bike.
Yes, Hugh has ridden that particular bike quite a lot over the years.
Back a bit.
It's going to take them 2
just
shots to
feel
get
it.
rid of ours, right?
What
Is
are
it
you
worth
thinking?
the chat?
What do you think about this guard or short?
Like, is it
What,
worth
throw
the
the
chat?
Pretty nice shot there
mind
by
having-
I
Sargent.
guess the only issue is if they run
Could
that
go
yellow,
there.
they've got the red double.
Or just straight peel? Well, why don't we try one there?
Yeah.
I don't
I wouldn't
mind
mind
that.
going down and having a chat. We got time, let's take it.
Merchant Hewitt and Pelangio are thinking, let's not muck about, let's rip the guards.
Frozen, right?
Huh?
So they're pretty well frozen. We're not going to move their rock easily.
We're sitting
It's
2,
just
though,
it's
right?
early in the end, but we're
I know.
set up sort
I
of
know.
well, right?
Like,
That's
we're in that area that it's
Well, it is, right?
either you do it or you don't, right?
Because we start playing defense all the way. Let's say we make the peel. Then he's throwing another one in the pile of it.
I think
Well,
so.
that's right.
Yeah. And then if he gets that other freeze right in the middle, we're not moving any of them.
No.
Yeah.
So I don't mind the top 12 on the center line.
Even if we're here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
Yep.
Yeah.
like I know what you're saying. Like, we're,
Yeah. No, that's good. Okay. Let's go. You happy with the edge of 12?
I think so, Hugh.
Yeah.
Hugh's heard enough. Sends the guys on their way. Get down the other end and throw it, please.
I like that.
Yeah, make them run one of ours in.
Yeah.
So
This
after the
is,
discussion, it is the come around. Top 12 foot.
spot.
Half around those
Fresh
guards.
spot.
I think I'd prefer the peel personally, though. Still, but
I'm in it, guys.
for the sake of entertainment,
Good to throw.
I think so.
sure.
Yeah, why not?
Throw the draw.
My gut reaction was light
But
was
this-
tolerance, but I'm almost
This could be the moment where
4 is
I'm
okay.
almost thinking.
After the
think
shot,
back
you'd
to
say,
after
What were we
after
thinking?
the end. What actually happened here?
What were
Oh
we
yes,
thinking?
we decided to throw the
Try and
front
give you a
stone
7.
rather than the peel.
7.
So often you do that. It doesn't take much more than a couple of half shots, and then boom, you're in trouble. But we'll see. this was 3-4 rocks from now, I might agree, but so early in the end, we're just putting lots of stones in play here and giving New Zealand a chance. So.
7, 8.
If you're Sean Becker, you certainly don't mind seeing rocks in play,
Well, no, it's heavy.
even if they're your opponents. And this one is nowhere near the intended target line.
Already.
Okay.
It's not terrible.
It's a bit heavy. Sorry, guys.
In long bowls, that would be a catcher.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is curling.
It's too much weight. I honestly didn't know what to throw there, but not that. Not that.
Just a 50.
Yeah. Not that.
So a bit of a chance here for the Kiwis to make life difficult for the Australians. Brett Sargan.
Yeah. Whoa.
See if he can follow that last one of his.
Where?
4-2.
Whoa! It's got a curl.
Right off. 4, 2, T.
Whoa.
2, 2.
This one is also tracking.
Come past. Hard, guys. Hard. All the way hard. Hard. Okay. Should have got on a wee bit earlier.
Well, it wedges that stone in the top 4 foot right between the two Australian shots.
A lot longer to bend that one.
There was no brakes. Just you only had another foot of weight.
Just, 2-4 feet extra weight.
Well, I gave you less ice too.
Yeah.
Now we're sitting 2.
Well, we're sitting 1. That's second shot now. I'm pretty sure. Well, this one here, we can hit, we can flop. Yeah, we're losing time. Yeah. Flop, out.
Yeah, if I do that, Hugh, this one might slide there, and that one might slide there.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't mind it underneath.
But we got to. The problem is
if
I sit there, we're in a bit of
yeah,
trouble.
even a bit. We'll be looking at 3, but a wide open 3 though.
Might be overthinking it here.
So.
I like that comment from Dean Hewitt. We might be overthinking it now.
Come on.
TikTok, and you just unlock that one. Right?
Yeah, I don't think peeling the guards again isn't
There's no
a bad
downside,
call
is there?
here.
I like normal.
Let's
Yeah.
just
Keep it open,
come on.
and you'll have still quite a few chances to blast the 4 foot open,
Yeah.
and just make sure you score your one.
So try just to touch.
I think I like that.
Playing in around the guards with the taps and the rolls. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. Normal.
you're just asking for trouble.
Did you want the roll or nose?
Yeah, we want the roll.
Okay.
Anywhere but nose, really. Nose sets up a double that's not very nice for us. But if I roll the inside, that's not terrible either.
Okay.
Normal.
Normal.
Yep. Whoa. Yeah. Just normal.
Yes.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Great shot. Well done.
Well,
Real nice.
I'm not sure if I totally agree.
well, he got the inside roll, but the New Zealanders have still got an out here.
Freeze open that one, right?
Tap that.
Yeah, leaves a pocket here.
Thought he was going to throw
Some reds to play with.
They all tap on the yellow. Try and set on the corner.
You can certainly pound that thing through the hole.
Yeah, for sure.
You get 3/4.
That moved nicely.
Close nose on that. Just push it into there.
Langio and Hewitt holding the line. Got the inside roll they were looking for, but opens up a path to the button now for the Kiwis. A short little tap.
Yeah, if you ever just tap this Yellowstone about a foot.
Warren Dobson.
Top 2. Little bit for line. Yeah, line.
Sounds pretty close for a weight.
Hard line. Top 2.
Really digging in now, though,
Guys. Hard line.
to get it past the guard.
Line. Come on. Hard. Gotta get him a movement on there. Yellow.
Hood and
Hard.
Sargon trying to drag this for a bump, but this one is going to overcurl and die a little bit.
Well,
Not terrible angles, probably overcurled a fraction more than the Kiwis would have liked.
again, though, keeping the stones in
Try it, Dobby.
front of the tee line.
Yeah, that was a good call,
Yeah.
Max. That was you.
But as you pointed out, Sander, the Australians are letting stones accumulate when
Sitting 3 right now.
with a 7-3 lead. You don't really need them. Introducing a bit of risk that they probably don't need.
Yeah.
It's not terrible to pass through here.
Yeah, here you go.
2 to 3.
We talked about Australian teams going for the kill, and Hugh Milliken perhaps thinking we put a deuce on the board and maybe the Kiwis will concede and that'll be it.
Halfway tight.
No.
Halfway tight.
3.
It'll overbend if anything.
Whoa.
No,
Halfway.
it's going to overbend. It's going to overbend.
Tight.
3.
It's going to overbend.
Off the yellow.
Yep,
Up
yep,
the
yep.
yellow.
Rub. Go. Rub and go. Good shot.
That'll work.
It's good.
That really curled.
Bit of a break there for the Australians.
Really curled. I
Rotation,
tried to
too.
throw a lot of rotation.
Yeah.
A little bit of a rub off that center guard, repositioned it, covered the path to the
First glance looks like that could
promotion
go.
stones. Sean Becker now looking at run back options.
Not quite. Guys, stay at the centre. You guys front end aren't meant to be over the hole. We get a wee bit of drag on that yellow. It's going to go to that. Might squirt a fraction sideways.
New Zealand has in fact called
Might
timeout.
push it back 2. They're probably still going to be sitting shot with the 2. But at least we'll have 3 on top of the 2 foot.
Yep.
Something to play with.
Run it one back.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's their only option, just off the nose.
It's on the nose of that.
No, just off the nose, just to the inside of the nose of the 5. So you'll be just hopefully just sitting here. Maybe move that. That's going to spring's the only problem. Spring up here.
What way do you want it?
You got to throw peel. Yeah.
Okay.
So after the discussion, the shot call is the run back. I'm going to try and promote that Yellowstone.
Basically
Sean's gonna,
right on the schnoz, eh?
that's about it, Brett. Right on the schnoz. Try to run it straight back onto their own stones and hope to get a bit of action. Maybe leave their own shots somewhere in the 8 foot to promote. That's a little offline. They're waiting for it to curl. Just gets a piece and picks it off. So that doesn't really help them, actually.
Pushed it out.
Yeah.
Does leave a hole. It's come through.
That's true.
Probably Australia's pocket.
Similar line, yeah?
Yeah, same shot.
Yeah, we're kind of committed now.
Yeah, that's fine.
You don't say it, Jay.
Less ice.
That's right, Jay. And you helped commit them.
Yeah.
75. Weight should be all right. A little less than last
Yeah.
Hey, you
time.
got to let it
Hey,
bend.
Les.
It's got to bend.
Halfway.
Bend or bump.
Halfway.
It's got to bend or
Tight.
bump. You got to bend it or bump it.
Bump.
You got to cross it.
No, we'll get across.
You got to go now. Hard.
Yep.
Go.
Yeah,
Okay,
hard.
whoa.
Go.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Behind that one. Great
Okay.
spot.
Shot.
Good one.
Throw.
That takes a while to come across, but
Yeah.
sure
It was
did.
either on it or not, eh? That's good.
Yeah.
It was moving, and then it wasn't moving, and then it was moving
It
again.
looked like it was pretty far out, but
Yeah.
it finished so nice.
No, that worked out well.
Certainly did.
Catch this one.
Yeah, bounce off the 2.
Yeah.
Onto the 4.
I mean, that might be a better option, actually.
Run that 5. Catch that 3.
Problem is you open it up, but I think that's the shot.
Yeah.
Straight, just inside the nose of that one.
You want to go on the 3 or you want to
again, because this
come back here, aren't you?
Here.
Yeah, but you're going to hit that one there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Australians
Yeah.
are lying
Top
3.
one doesn't do us any good. We might, because we'll get the drag on the back yellow.
Either peel.
Less. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah.
So you see the thinking time clocks in the background. 9:20 left to play for the New Zealanders. Straight run back attempt here. He's going to run the Australian stone back onto his own.
Peel. Yes. Whoa.
Needs to curl. Get some action. And New Zealand is lying 1. Good result there for Sean
Curl
Becker.
a wee bit.
The inline shot, just the shooter does roll
Had to curl a bit, Dobby.
a bit to the left as we just saw it, to the right as we see it now, just leaving a gap. It's unfortunate.
Yes. You heard Sean saying it needed to curl a little bit because if he knew if he did nose it, he would leave his own shot as a guard. It is open now for the Australians to make a pass at that Kiwi stone.
Third of a rock.
Third of a rock.
Where are we hitting it, guys?
Third of a rock.
Hewitt says he can see a third of the rock. Or is that how much contact he's looking for, Sander?
I think that's the contact they're looking for here, to just try and avoid the jam in the back. But even if they do jam, Australia will be lying shot stone. So main objective, just to try and peel it out of the forefoot. It does jam, but as mentioned, they are shot stone. 1 point's enough for Australia here.
Certainly is. A bit of a misread there for the Australians, but job done. Calling the sweep, and they were trying to pick it a little bit thinner, but instead jam it straight back on the New Zealand rock. Or on their own rock, rather, leaving the New Zealand stone there.
Can't really play that one because it just plays the yellow red onto the yellow. So, right.
This is a tough one here.
Ooh, he's going to try and hit the out.
But it's not going to matter. Here.
Looks like he's going to try and make a play on the outside of that Yellowstone. You heard him just hit half an inch. That's pretty tough.
Yeah, see how much I can see inside it.
I was just going to say, Sean, can you make that shot off the inside?
I don't think so. I think this is pretty much the only call. Can't see anything else, really. The port's too snug to draw around, draw through.
Wonder if you could throw like backline hack and maybe feather off the yellow, but never mind. The shot is the peel weight, and he's going to try and hit just about a half an inch of that stone. Angle it in.
Be real good if they can make it here. Sit two, put some pressure on Dean Hewitt.
Whoa, guys. Whoa.
But this one's over curling. This is fortunate to not just peel out his own at the back there.
Gone out of my hand.
Well, I'm thinking. Yeah, it's got to be pretty close to that.
3.
So Australia's got one in the bank.
You got to get to here.
Now they're thinking, how do we get 2? And Hugh Milliken says, yep, the only way we're going to get there is draw right on the tee line.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be too bad.
I get straight tee line. At least half a rock in the forefoot.
Yeah, it may be a foot or two heavier, but I don't think it's a huge difference.
I don't think it's going to be much, eh?
Think like an 85 or a 80?
Yeah, give it a shot.
And this is a bit of a guess. You're going way out to the side of the sheet, and sometimes the pebble's still fresh and it'll actually carry. Sometimes it's a bit frosty and it'll just die. So, bit of a weight guess here for Dean Hewitt. Last stone of end number 7, but not too much pressure on him. He's got one in the bag already.
Too bad. Just rely. 4 foot. To it. Yeah.
Whoa.
Sweepers have to stay really close on this one.
Okay.
Now they need it to curl. Just a little short. Great try there from Dean Hewitt, but it comes up agonizingly short. It is 1 for Australia, but a great try indeed for Dean Hewitt. Almost made his deuce, but 1 it is for Australia in end number 7. So after 7 ends of play, it's Australia 8, New Zealand 3.
Okay.
So wait then, boys. What do you want to do?
Like to keep it clean.
Yeah. Throw it through. We're cleaner than that one.
I don't mind that.
Let's throw it through.
Something different.
Okay.
Rock 5.
Give it 100%. Give it 100%.
Well, we heard the Australian game plan between ends.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Keep it clean.
100%. Yeah.
So Milliken throws that rock through the rings. Now the New Zealanders, you're not just throwing the kitchen sink at it. You're throwing your lounge furniture, your bedroom set. second car everything you can.
Whoa!
Because to have a chance of winning this game, New Zealand pretty much needs a 3 here. And to score 3 means you need guards. And Anton Hood throws the corner guard. Talked about the free guard zone. The Australians can't remove that Kiwi guard. And we see comparison to the lead position. Hugh Milliken having the edge on Anton Hood.
Line's good.
Looks close. I think it's there. Just making sure. Yep.
Top 4, guys.
We've talked about Hugh's experience. He's been in these situations many, many times.
Shot.
Nice.
Okay. Still a bit positive. Yeah, that's okay.
Shot.
I'm surprised by the order they played the rocks there, Australia. Normally, you could draw on the first one, and if you end up
the second,
dropping a guard or something, you can peel it. If you throw the first one through and then you drop a guard in the second, you can't really, peel it. So,
well, the lead can't peel it, but the second sure can.
Yeah, but then you'd rather be peeling guards.
That's true.
So, but just as long as they made the shot, it's fine. But just for next time.
Yeah, it'll be firm. It's not going to be light.
Well, Hugh Milliken has had most of his playing career at the skip position actually throwing the last rocks, or at least throwing third stone. So him throwing lead rocks, it's a bit of a new experience for him. Jay Merchant looking to blast away.
Looking for the double, but
leaves it in play, so that's good news for the New Zealanders. Corner guard. Yep, Sean Becker knows we need a 3, so I'd love to have 2 corner guards if he could.
Well, I think the 3's in play here.
I agree.
With the staggered corners. Essentially, come around the 2 corners. Australia peels the top one. Come around again. When they peel the corner again, again you can hit for 3.
Yes.
Essentially, but again, quite a few shots needs to be made, and of course Australia sees this coming, so
Stone, Brett.
we'll see.
That's good.
Anton Hood having a look at his hand after that sweep was done.
Yeah, but it's behind the T line.
Wonder if he might be suffering a bit of a blister. And we see the comparison between the second stones. Brett Sargent with a bit of a percentage edge on Jay Merchant.
He struggled a wee bit with his hits, Jay Merchant. And again, still narrow, and will lead the shooter in play. And,
Yep,
I
Sean
think
Becker.
that's enough cover.
Yep, Sean Becker's now thinking cha-ching.
What was that last one?
Close to 20.
And we see on the right-hand side of our screen, those guards are stacked and staggered, so everything the New Zealanders could have asked for.
The Aussies might just be committed to pulling into the house here. It'd be hard to, might be too late peeling the guards, getting all 3 off is maybe a tad ambitious at this point.
This one must stay in the rings, though. Going deep isn't so bad. Sean Becker encouraging Hugh to sweep that stone deeper in the house. Nice shot there from Brett.
I just think right here.
I like the triple peel myself.
Just need to be full 12. So if you're up here, it's okay.
Okay.
For me, it's the cut tonight.
What do you think of that ice?
Fair enough.
Means they got 2 rounds to play with.
Fair enough.
So what's the weight down here? So
Happy with that ice?
I think it's normal.
So Ian Pelangio. Milliken would like him to draw around the corner guard.
Pull back a little.
Yeah, you'd love to make the triple peel, but if you only catch the top one, you leave 2 staggered corners, and New Zealand a chance to come around and sit 2 in behind the corners. It's getting a little bit sketchy, so Seems like you have a better chance of coming into the house here and making it a little more difficult for New Zealand.
Nice looking stone here from Palangio. Great brushing there from Hewitt and Merchant, trying to drag it up. They get a piece, but that one did curve away from the rings. And New Zealand is still second shot, so chance here for the Kiwis to, well, Becker looks like he's trying the corner freeze. He might even think about going around it. There we see that yellow stone belongs to New Zealand. On the right-hand side of our picture, that's second shot. Now Dobson.
This is one of the tougher shots you can play. Corner freeze on a stone that's top of the house. Don't really have too much room, but like you said, the option is always to come around instead.
Well, they're backing away from it, so they're sort of in nowhere land. They're well by it. I'd like it to stay in the rings at least, and it does. Might have nudged his own stone into fourth shot position, though. Milliken's having a look.
Shot. Great. Sorry, shot. Second, third, fourth. Okay.
Okay, that's the world according to Hugh.
So that's what I gave you.
Yeah, more ice.
Not much more, though. Starts tracking once you get further.
Same way.
Well, Ian's been 100% on draw so far.
That is pretty impressive.
Just for line. Just for line.
Pretty even Steven to the third position, though.
Stay close.
Did have a slight hiccup on the first one at this end, though, so.
He did too, that's true.
But all the more reason to think he'll be closer with this second attempt. There's more room this time.
It's got a great looking line. Good weight too.
Yeah, real nice.
Yeah, that's a beauty from Palangio.
Shot.
Good.
Sweet.
Yep. I don't mind if you tap that a wee bit, but we're going to roll open's the only problem.
Yeah.
Freezes the shot.
I'm wondering if the double's there, Sander. You're going to lose the back one, but the shot is the freeze for Dobson.
Hit. Good weight. Top set.
Yeah, just pretty much giving up on the two yellows in the house now.
Tight.
Trying to manufacture a deuce another way.
Top set.
Keep going, keep going.
Gotta go for line.
Two more rocks to come after this, so still a fair chance. Over curling. We'll rub off the top one. I'm not sure if that's even second shot here.
It's not. The Australian stone is second.
It's gone. I mean, they're on it out of hand too.
I don't mind that shot.
You like that?
Red stones are Australian.
You can go corner.
Well, what are we sitting?
First and second.
Oh.
So I mean, if he hammers this thing, it's going to go in that pack and end up back here anyway.
But I think we want to run theirs into it, ours into it, yeah?
So certainly that jamming is going to jam it out.
I think
count
up
this
here,
one.
though.
So he could end up with second and third.
How much? Can I just float something out here?
Right.
Do you mind if I just float something?
What's
here?
that?
How much of this can we see?
All of it.
Sweet.
Just about all
All
of
of
it.
Sweet. So if we hit that there, Hugh, that's going out that way.
It's pretty thin.
You have to hit it pretty thin.
Well,
You got to hit like a quarter.
And if you jam, well, you jam, it'll jam and sit here, right?
okay. Yeah.
So it's not the end of the world, but if you
Okay.
stick it there.
No, I'm just floating it. I'm not saying that we do it. I'm just,
A trial balloon from barrister Jay Merchant.
That's what I was
Just
thinking.
putting it out there.
Even
The
higher.
ice I gave Ian was here.
I like
it
that.
really finishes
I like
nice. Let's go a bit more.
fair enough.
Hugh Milliken, judge and jury, slams the gavel down and says, nope, we are
What are
going
we
to throw a
thinking,
draw.
Mike?
4?
Yeah, it's normal down here.
Well,
I think.
4 at 5 can do.
Yeah.
Just looking to take away the path to the action on the right-hand side of the sheet as we're looking at it.
Yeah, don't mind this call. Just throw a guard pretty much anywhere.
Easy. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
It'll be very hard for New Zealand to make a play on their yellow, and with all the guards staggered, there's really nothing to run back either, so seems like a pretty safe call.
Hot guys, come on! Hurry! 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 Come on! Go, 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 go!
Okay, good shot.
Is there a port?
It might be a tiny hole.
Yeah, this line.
One thing we know about Sean Becker, he can throw the heat. Hewitt with a statistical edge at the skip position, fourth stone position.
With, say, normal.
Yeah. Well, yours was just a little bit straighter.
Just spring in behind that guard. I think it's worth a shot anyway.
Yeah, Sean Becker says I can get
So
through that hole.
we hit this now and try this.
Hit and roll there.
Yeah.
Leave it later.
And leave that.
Because we do that, and he probably just draws.
Well, you got to remove this stone, so maybe that's a better option.
So we do that, he draws there and takes away your draw.
Yeah, I know. It leaves me with a double, so probably better to hit it now.
Could he throw quiet weight through that hole and promote yellow onto red and push it out the side? Maybe set up a 4.
He's throwing normal.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. You got to hold its nose up. So, here?
Just inside the nose.
Well, just outside the line, I think.
And he's taking quite a bit of ice, so maybe that is the play.
Well, wait, sure. Normal.
No, it is normal, so, okay.
We just got to try it. I mean, it's all we got, really.
Okay, so it is a play on the shot rock.
I thought it would be worth throwing it through the hole.
Me too.
Make the hit and roll, and you can roll your shooter frozen on the shot stone.
Oh, Jesus. Normal! Whoa!
Speed wobble there, but good correction.
It's hard! Hard! Hard, guys! Hard! Hard! Oh, it's on the nose.
Well, you might be left with that shot for his next one.
You give me a fist bump?
No, he didn't. Good throw.
It's a good recovery. It's a good recovery.
Right in the nose. Normal, yeah. Just make sure of it. Okay. The nose is pretty good.
Yep, nose would certainly take 3 or 4 out of the equation. Just as ordered, right on the nose. So that is far too flat a double. Could never throw it hard enough to throw sideways.
Yeah.
I might have to bail out once we get to the far hole.
Just look at the flat roll. Might be better with the out turn, is it?
I got pretty good wheels on me.
It's flat-ish.
And they'll just KO and print.
Yeah.
Yeah, then.
Yep. We need a deuce, so one doesn't do any good for us.
Yep. Peel.
We need a deuce.
Okay, so it looks like it's the out turn. He's going to try and redirect off his own stone to make a double takeout on the stone on the button.
Try and just hit that in the guts. Yep.
Hit that in the guts.
Peel! Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah! Yep. Yeah! Hard! Hard!
There's one just underneath it. So close, but it is a steal of 1 for the Australians. And Sean Becker says that that's enough for tonight. So the steal of 1 for Australia clinches the victory for them. 9-3 lead with 2 ends to play. And Team New Zealand says that's enough.
We didn't get some breaks.
Very well played, guys.
So Australia enjoying the home cooking. Take their 3rd win in a row.
Some good decisions.
Move out to a 3-0 record.
It was, we could have kept it really clean.
New Zealand, on the other hand,
Oh, yeah, that was, yeah.
they're going to have to run the table from here.
They just jump on you, did it?
Yeah, just curled up.
That's their 3rd loss. They're not out of it by any means, but they're really going to need to string wins together from here.
So anyway, well done.
Okay. Job.
Thanks.
Thanks, Hamish.
Good game. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Hamish. Cheers. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Session 3 of the men's competition. It's New Zealand versus Australia. New Zealand skip Sean Becker here in the second end. Needs a piece of the button to score 2, and he makes it perfectly. Tough deuce indeed. The Kiwis go up 2-1. The third end, a delicate but makeable shot here for Dean Hewitt of Australia. Needs to hit it on the nose. Maybe he can score 3, and he makes it perfect. Great shot for the Australians. Bouncing back from the deuce with the 3 of their own. In the fifth end, New Zealand skip Sean Becker. Bit nervous about the draw on the outturn side. Tries a bump raise, but it's a little bit light, and Australia steals 2.
Wasn't bad that we overkilled there.
Giving them a commanding 7-2 lead at the halfway point of the game. Sean Becker going all in, trying to make a thin crosshouse double. Just goes underneath the Australian shot. Last kick at the can for the Kiwis. Didn't quite come off. Australia steals another point and take out a 9-3 victory, moving them to 3-0. Now let's have a word with the winning skip.
So what was the difference between New Zealand and Australia today?
Oh, I think the ice was a bit tricky, and we were playing a little easier shots than they had. They had the finesse shots when the ice was a bit patchy, so they got a bit unlucky on a couple of spots, and it overbent, and that was the game.
Third win for you guys. Can you keep the ball rolling?
I hope so. You know, we have a tough game tomorrow against China, our old nemesis, so that'll be a tough one to see where we are in the pack. But certainly going 3-0 is a good start.
The likes of China, Japan, Korea has sort of taken over in this region. Do you think a team like New Zealand and Australia could win the Pacifics once more?
I think we can. I think the beautiful thing about curling is that on any given day anybody can beat anybody. So our objective is just to get to the playoffs, and then we have to win one of 2 games in the playoffs to get to the World. So not so bad. I think we're pretty confident.
Are you enjoying the championship on home turf once again?
It's fantastic. You know, we're so lucky to live in a country like Australia, and hopefully all the players appreciate the fact that we're next to a beach and you can go surfing and walk outside and it's nice and warm. So it's really nice to have it here in Australia, and hopefully we'll do it again.
Thank you. Congrats.
No problem. Thank you.
So that will do it for us on a Friday night here in Erina, Australia. Hope you've enjoyed the action at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2017. On behalf of my colleague Sander Olvag and the whole production crew, I'm Hans Fraunlaub. Good night from Erina.